Hey everyone, it's me, Ava, aka Kaisa. I hope everyone is doing all right with all this hustle and bustle of the holiday season and not, losing it. You got to remember to eat properly. Remember to zen yourself and try to center, especially when you're going out amongst all these peopling, right? Okay, so I'm back with another um, dream message. Even though part 3 has, I'm like, why can't I release 3 first? And they're like, just do as you're told. So hey, what do? You follow spirit and you do what you're told. I just want to let you know a little something about this dream. What's interesting is I don't do tarot. Okay, I not that I don't know how, but that's not my focus, and I'm very good at it. I just choose not to do that because I'm here to teach. And other ones are very well gifted out there, my brothers and sisters that are doing that. And that's their calling. So I had to put that there because this dream came to me with the Queen of Clubs. Okay. So in a regular card deck, it just kept pushing at me. Queen of Clubs, Queen of Clubs, Queen of Clubs. So a Queen of Clubs is really the Queen of Wands. All right. So I'll put that information in the description box down there too. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, when I do tarot readings for myself, I do not put any of the court in my deck. Okay, it's very important. The court cards is the king, the queen, the knight, the page. None of those I put in my deck. So I had to go in and pull them out. And it also had the King of Swords. In this reading or in this dream message, the King of Swords was representing the unawakened twins, and the Queen of Wands was representing the awakened twins. Then as I'm pulling them out, they're giving me all these other cards, and I'm just like, okay. Now, when I do tarot, I ask what position the card should be in. And I'm also told if they should, I ask, should they be upright or should they be reversed? And I'm not even looking at them when I'm doing them. So my eyes are completely closed. I'm like, I'll hold up a card and I say, hey, well, so what do I do with this one? And then they tell me where to place them in my usual layout. So that's just a little bit of basis about me and tarot, because that's what this dream message was about. All right, let's get to it. For all twins in separation, the energies are extremely high right now. Everybody is thinking. Okay. What that means is that everybody is in their own headspace, that including unawakened twins and awakened twins. The awakened twins are concerning themselves about what is the unawakened twin thinking. And the unawakened twin is thinking about how they treated the awakened twin and how are they thinking about them. Wow, right? So I have some news here about some stuff on that. Awakened twins. You must get out of your head with the overthinking and the what ifs. Okay. It's very difficult when you reach a certain phase in the twin flame journey. When the awakened twin says, you know what? I can't, I'm not interested in thinking about this anymore. I'm tired. and you put your sword down for a while and you take a break. And then you find yourself not obsessing anymore. You find yourself not thinking about them anymore. Or, they'll pop in every once in a while. Then you start to feel a little guilty about that. But that's what's supposed to happen. But in the what ifs instances and scenarios, it's what if I put it down? Will that mess it up? No. That won't change a thing. That's just where you should be. That means you're centered. You switch focus from the subject, or rather you switch focus from the object to the subject. You are the subject. You are what's important. Okay? So don't stress anymore about the what ifs. This happened. What if that happened? Don't. Just free yourself and free your mind of all that overthinking. Okay? All right. Put your spiritual work down for a couple of days and be 3D. All right. A lot of times we've done so much work, inner work, child work, and everything, till we don't seem to understand that we still have to, exist out here. Sometimes it's very taxing on the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit. It's taxing. And then you have to still go out and put this face on for people in the street, work, family members, and all of that. During this time, don't worry about it. Put it down for a couple of days. It's all right. Believe me, it's not going nowhere. Sometimes you need to clear your head. That's how you do it. Okay? You get out of your head space and all of that and take a break. If you find yourself where you don't want to meditate, don't meditate. Just be in yourself. Say, you know what? Put the intent in. You know what? I'm putting this down for a second so that I can focus and get some clarity, because I'm fogging up everything here. So go do some physical activity go shopping. Just put it down. Go hang out with some friends. And you know me, I love bowling. So hey, go bowling. Trust me, do a fun activity of some sort. Go racquetball, go to the gym. Just make yourself 3D for, I would say, no more than 48 hours, 2 days, maybe 3 tops. But don't get caught out there, because, if you don't come back, you could get tripped up a little bit and trying to, recenter yourself. But when you do come back, you'll find you're stronger in your knowledge and knowing, you're zen, and you have more empowerment. Move from head space into heart space. Okay. Everything you're thinking is all up here. All right. So we need to start thinking from our hearts. All right. And not so much our heads and what we think is going to happen, what we think is going on. Think. Okay. No, we need to do more feeling, which brings in our inner knowing. Okay. And it also develops our intuition, our inner intuition. Okay. It also, it exercises your heart chakra, muscle, whatever. The more you use a muscle, the stronger it gets. All right. So we don't need to strengthen the brain anymore. Okay. Ego is all it is. We already know that. So we want to strengthen the heart muscle. And how are we going to do that? By using it. All right. Okay. Trust the process, loss of faith, lose the ego control factor, and surrender. Okay. I'm going to say it again. Trust the process, loss of faith, lose the ego control factor, and just surrender. All right. Trust the process. That's what letting go is. That's what giving in a break is. That's what That's what putting it down for a few days for 3D will do. For 3D will do. All right? Let the universe take over for a while. All right? You've been battling long enough, carrying that sword, dealing with this twin flame journey. And say, you know what, universe, I need you to take over for a minute because I'm tired. All right? With all the healing, the releasing, and all that, the lessons and whatnot, we just can't do no more. And let that take over. All right. Then some of you have lost faith. There's a difference between letting go and giving up. Okay? Letting go means to trust the process and knowing that universe has our back. Okay? And losing faith is that monkey mind stuff I was talking about before. And the hopping over and jumping back over and hopping over and jumping back over fence type of thing. Either you in or you not. Okay, you can't make a decision and stick to it. Okay, that means ego is way, way out there too much in the front. Okay, get out your head with that stuff. Okay, lose the ego control factor. Well, of course, lose the ego control factor. You want to control when it happens, how it happens, where it happens. You asking all these questions. It happened when it happened. Okay? It's just like having a baby. You know it's coming, right? You see it growing every single day. And equivalent to this scenario, the signs you see, the growth you have, the development. The more you see self-development is how you know your twin flame journey is progressing. Just because you're not in physical union doesn't mean that it's not progressing. You have to keep faith. The first place you need to start with faith is faith in yourself. You don't trust yourself that you made the right decision? Are you one of those people that make a decision and then turn around and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Then you go back. It's like when you buy stuff. I think my friend said buyer's remorse. You bought this item. You brought it home. You know you didn't need it. But you bought it for yourself. We do that a lot. We neglect ourselves. We'll buy something for ourselves in the store and we'll think when we get home, you know what, I don't need this. Let me take this back. Stop doing that. Unless, just stop doing that. Take that one chance. If a bill is due on the 21st, right? But you see this one little item for yourself. We're not talking rent though. Not talking about that. But if you see something you really like and it reaches out to you, your soul is like, get that. We should have this. And I'm not talking about a person who's a shopaholic either. But I'm just talking about something you saw for yourself that you like. And you say, you know what, I'm going to get this. You get it. You get home. Sit in it. I had an iPod. I finally bought myself an iPod like when it first came out. Excuse me. And it was all shiny and purpley and everything. And do you know it took me 2 months to open that thing? Because I kept thinking, was it 2 months? Yes, I'm hearing. It's 2 months it took for me to open this thing. And because I kept thinking I was going to take it back. I'm like, I shouldn't spend this much money on myself. Why not? Why not? I'm not telling you go out there and spend all your cash and all your check on you, ridiculously, and you have things. But splurge one time on yourself. Find it a way to do that. If you have to put maybe a few dollars away in a jar and say, this is my splurging jar to build my self-esteem because I love myself. All right? Okay. Remember, things won't happen except in divine timing. So you have no control over it anyway. Just like when things come in front of you, you don't have control over what's going on. Okay? There's no sense in getting upset about a person who jumped out in front of you in traffic. Why would you have no control over that, right? So why stress yourself out with that? Surrender to the process of the not knowing. It's like being a kid on Christmas Day. Ooh, what are in my boxes? Bring that sparkle back to yourself and say, when is universe going to bring me my box? And in that box is your twin, right? We don't know what the package is going to be. We just know it's going to be a big surprise, right? We don't know what's going to happen. So take advantage of that. All right. It's okay to be in your feelings. Anger, hurt, disappointment, they're all a part of the healing, releasing process to free oneself to ascend. Okay. A lot of you twins feel guilty because you have anger, you disappointment and hurt. Why? Why are you going to feel guilty about how you feel? That doesn't make any sense. The purpose of the journey is to get in touch with our feelings so that we know what, we can't keep doing that. All right. Let's not do that anymore. Okay. All right. They're a part of the healing, releasing process. So the only way that we can heal is if we release all this stuff. How are we going to heal if we don't get rid of it? We just going to keep bringing it into this is end of 2018. We shouldn't be bringing all this stuff into 2019 anyway. All right? Okay. Let's see. Isolation is not the solution. What you think others are thinking is not the case. You have separated yourself. Let family members, friends be a comfort. And stop discussing your twin flame journey with those not in support. Pick your battles. Be 3D and have fun with them instead. Learn to balance. Okay, that's a mouthful right there, right? Okay. Isolation is not the solution. Because it's the holiday season, it automatically makes some feel very sad because they're not with their twin. It automatically, when you don't have a twin, a lot of people are sad during the holidays. They go back into the memories of ones lost, that have gone on, other things, other issues, whatever. And so they automatically withdraw. But because you don't have your twin, you're feeling very sad and within yourself. So you withdraw and you put yourself in isolation. That's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Take this time as an opportunity to deal with that. All right? What you think others are thinking is not the case. Okay. A lot of you twins, and this is with people, just in general. People sometimes have this complex that people are talking about them when they're walking around. That's not the case. I'm not putting you down or anything, but what makes you so important that you think a stranger and all the strangers in the parking lot or in a store is just focused on you? Nobody knows what you're thinking but you. The guilt you wear on the outside that you emanate, that makes you, questionable, and it shows in your behavior. So when it comes to, misunderstandings and things of that nature, only you know. You're the only one that thinks in this way. No one's thinking what you're thinking. All right, so come out of that head again. Like I said, you separate yourself So let the family members around you, even if it's family members you don't want to be bothered with, maybe this is the time that you need to take and deal with that. Okay? Now, discussing your twin flame journey with those not in support. No one wants to deal with that. Okay? Stop telling your business. As simple as that. Learn to keep stuff to yourself. All right? Not everybody happy for you. You know, a person wins $1 million. Do you think everybody gonna be happy for them? They're gonna put on this fake smile. But most people are just not genuinely happy for someone else. Okay? And a lot of times, and this may hit a little hard, but a lot of times when you start talking about the twin flame journey and your twin, people don't want to hear it no more. Especially when you've been dealing with it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They're like, all right already. They're not going to understand at all. So why put yourself in that position to be hurt or disappointment because they're not on the same page? Take people and beings as they are. Not everyone is in the same place spiritually that you are. Okay? So just step outside yourself and spread loving light so that you can expose them to how much you have changed. But they can't see the change if you keep talking about your twin and they're not on the same page. Sometimes it's just best to stay within the twin flame community and collective, and we're each other's support. Okay? Pick your own battles. Just like I said. If you know somebody is in disagreement with your spiritual beliefs in your family environment, just keep it to yourself. But you don't stop doing what you're doing. You're growing, okay? Be 3D and have fun with them instead. Yes, go out with them and enjoy each other's company as people, as regular beings having fun, okay? The feeling of failure because you no longer have 3D drive of success in the matrix and not in reunion. I'm going to say that again. The feeling of failure because you no longer have the 3D drive of success in the matrix and not in reunion. Okay, this is a very heavy topic. There comes a time in all spiritual journeys, whether it's twin flame or non, where we realize what we've been doing all this time is not where our soul desire is. And we look around at the 3D world and we see everyone, they're like, well, this one is successful in doing this with their business. And they have this drive to be so 3D out there. And ego stands in the front. I'll give you an example. I'm 51 years old. Okay? Yeah, I tell my age because I'm proud of it. All right? Proud of it. All right. I had this thing when I was married. And my previous marriage partner I always had this feeling I wasn't good enough. Because where I was at my age, I wasn't a professional. But I just didn't have that drive to be a professional. That's not what I wanted to do. That wasn't me. That wasn't why I was here. Didn't know that at the time, but I just never had that drive. And I always tried to feel guilty. So I went to school, back to school, got my degree and all this stuff. And I still don't. That's not where I am. That's not what I want to do. That's not who I am. So don't feel guilty about that because your soul calling is different. Okay? Don't just separate yourself from that. Say, you know what? Good for them. They still out there doing that's what they want to do, or think that that's what they want to do, and you don't know what they thinking. Remember, people think things that you're not thinking the same thing. It's like you don't know what's going on in their head, so they may feel that they're not good enough. Don't let their outward appearance and behaviors fool you. Okay? Most of them are happy. Not truly. They're not. Their soul is like, why are we doing all this? You keep pushing to strive to be better, but they still have no self-fulfillment. Okay? So don't feel that way. All right? I know when you go around family members and things like that, and this one, oh, Cousin Bob has got his own business, and Mary Lou is, making these phenomenal, she has her little catering business going, and she's doing it. Good for them. Okay? Your soul calling may be healing. Okay? Embrace yourself. Embrace your own soul desires. Okay? All right. All right. The 3D drive of success in the matrix and not in reunion. Okay. So this is basically a little bit back on what I just mentioned about not being in reunion. Everybody tired of hearing you talk about it after 1 to 5 years. Being in reunion is a personal goal. Okay? That's the way you're seeing it, as a personal goal. Especially you A-type personalities, because I was like that. Compete. This one's in union. That one's in union. But why am I not in union? And you feel like a failure. And I know there's some that meet each other and in 2 weeks they moving in together. They met each other on the street and moved in 2 weeks later. That's their story. That's the way they wrote it. Remember when you see other people trying to tell you how to get into union and what you need to do to manifest it and everything else, I'm telling you, there's nothing that's going to change unless you change yourself. Go in your inner knowing, check in with your higher self, and see what was the story that you wrote. And you also have to remember, please, I can't stress this enough. Twins, listen very carefully to me. Listen. If you never listen to me about anything, listen to me about this, okay? Free will is a booger. I'm telling you. It is a true booger. Free will puts a person in a position that they don't have to follow. They don't have to, embrace the twin flame situation. They don't have to do it. Okay? And that throws a monkey wrench in there a little bit. The resistance. Okay? So take this into consideration. Your twin may be resisting. You are not the failure. I'm going to say that again. You are not the failure. I love you. Source loves you. Universe loves you. And your twin flame brothers and sisters love you. Okay? So you're not a failure. All of us in separation are going through something. Remember that. We're not failing. Failing would mean you done put the whole thing down and just went back into the 3D thought knowing better. That's failing because you're not continuing what you came here to do. All right? So I'm looking at the time. I thought I was going to be able to do this in one piece, in one segment. But I'm going to give you a break and break it up into 2. And I just want to tell you guys, this is, I'm going to say it again, this is not something that can be rushed. There is no 1, 2, 3 steps. It's 1 through millions of steps. Okay? And each thing is a process. It's all about development and growth. So take time to love yourself during this whole thing. Okay? Come out of your head and all that crazy nonsense. And just, understand that there are many variables in reunion. So don't take it personally that you're a failure. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for now. I love you guys. Wonders to thee. Peace to all. Ciao.